farmers in Uganda are being encouraged to use insects as livestock feed to enable them find more nutritious protein alternatives for their animals. Breeding insects like maggots and earthworms also takes up a little space, according to scientists who say rising production of livestock feed such as soy gobbles up more and more valuable agricultural land.
In Uganda's capital, Kampala, Joanna Kiemba is preparing beds from decomposing organic waste and cardboards that will be used by soldier flies to lay eggs. Joanne is an insect breeder and trainer at the Makerere University's Department of Food Science and Technology. A new breed of farmers are increasingly taking up the use of insects as livestock feed and developing it into a commercial venture. The university runs a free training program for farmers who want to learn how to breed insects for livestock feed. Joanne, who trains farmers, says the process is simple and that there is growing interest in insect breeding. For 5 years now, Joanne has been training farmers. She says her students come from all over the country and many have gone on to start their own insect breeding ventures. With human consumption of meat tipped to soar, the increasing impact that livestock production is having on the environment, governments are increasingly considering the use of processed insects as animal feed. Joanne says the insects also give farmers a cheaper option to feed like fish meal.
At least all flies, they will never lay their eggs on bare ground. They have to lay somewhere. They are sure that the moment my young ones come out, it will have food to feed on. So that's the reason why I put these cardboards in rotting matter to entice this fly to come and lay eggs.
It costs a farm about $100 to start breeding the maggots. Dr. Emma Naluyima is a graduate of the insect breeding training program at Makerere University. She keeps livestock and catfish, which she feeds on maggots and earthworms. Emma says this has helped reduce costs of animal feed by about 3/4. Livestock production, which accounts for 70% of all agricultural land, is seen by the United Nations as a leading cause of environmental problems, including global warming, land degradation, air and water pollution, and loss of biodiversity. Kenaseka, KTN News.
Quite interesting. Now, Nigerian entrepreneur Olayemi Samson recycles plastic water sachets into raincoats, school bags, car covers and shoes. He says he is doing his part to fight pollution and encourage reuse and recycling while making a practical fashion statement. Look at this.
Nigerian entrepreneur Olayemi Samson is working on a piece for his latest collection of outwear, a raincoat made of plastic waste. The 29-year-old entrepreneur came up with the idea of using discarded water sachets to make items like clothes, water capes and school bags in a bid to fight against pollution in his home city, Lagos. In Nigeria, water sachets are popular and easily accessible, but as a result, the packaging that is easily scattered ends up around almost every busy street corner. Tired of seeing the plastic waste clogging up drains and getting in the way, Olayemi decided to play his part for the environment.
I got to understand that over 27 million sachet water waste littered on the streets on a daily basis. So I began to ask myself that, where this waste, it takes 20 to 30 years before they decay, and where are they going to? They are flitting all around the streets, and I know definitely accumulation of all this waste leads to flood, which causes a lot of loss of lives and property. So I now feel that, okay, we should come to the rescue of this. We should find a way of transforming this environmental nuisance into something useful.
According to a 2011 World Bank report, Lagos generates 9,000 metric tons of waste daily. Cheaper than other alternatives, plastic bags and bottles are popular, but poor waste management services and a lack of laws to restrict their use and sale remains a challenge. Olayemi collects plastic bags wherever he finds them. He has also enlisted the help of restaurant owners and school children, who he pays a small fee to help him. Once he gathers them, he washes and disinfects them before using them to create his practical recycled pieces. There are those that are impressed by his work, but others are still not sold on the idea of reusing plastic bags as clothing.
Some people are so skeptical about it initially. So when people begin to wear the school bag, the raincoat, they became like a star somehow because it was attracting people's attention that what brought about this creativity of this waste, being used into something useful.
He has not yet turned a profit from the sale of his creations, but Olayemi says he hopes to inspire young people and those in authority to reimagine recycling and see it as a unique opportunity to protect the environment. Kenaseka, KTN News.